You think you're conversing. You think words are bridges, poor domesticated souls. Conversation, in truth, is a battlefield, and every sentence is a disguised sword. The weak speak to be accepted, the ordinary speak to be understood, but the strong speak to dominate. Language is their weapon, not their confessional. And more, they know that sometimes the deadliest blow is silence. The true master does not persuade, he imposes. If you believe conversations are about connection, you're still at the herd level. See what happens when you speak less. They tremble, they try to decipher your gestures, beg for clues, writhe in the discomfort of doubt. Because modern man lives off validation, and when it's denied, he collapses. Conversation in this scenario becomes a psychological war, and the most strategic always wins, not by shouting louder, but by knowing when to be silent. If you understand this logic, like this video. If you don't understand, leave now. Because from here on, I will tear apart your romantic idea of communication until only the raw structure of domination remains. Now let's speak of what ruined generations of men: adoration. The male instinct has been emasculated by the morality of emotional servitude. Placing a woman on a pedestal is not an act of love, it is symbolic suicide. Each time you kneel emotionally, you kill a piece of your authority. A woman does not wish to be adored, she wishes to be dominated by the presence of someone who does not beg. You want love? Become the prize. You want devotion? Become the abyss she cannot decipher. The feminine bows to what imposes, never to what pleads. And the most tragic is that this is right before your eyes. The man who offers himself is forgotten. The one who preserves himself is pursued. A woman may say otherwise, but her body gives it away. She thrills before risk, mystery, unpredictability, not before excessive praise or neediness disguised as romance. If you still believe that being good guarantees her love, you are a slave. And a slave does not love, he adores. The superior man does not carry flowers, he carries himself. And that is enough to ignite any instinct. Do you still believe it's your words that seduce? That it's your elaborate vocabulary, your trained eloquence, your polite verbosity? Foolishness. Words are the most sophisticated mask of human deceit. What truly convinces is the energy emanating from your body, from your silence, from your steady breathing. The true man does not seduce, he exists. And his existence is already a disturbance. He doesn't need to say, "I'm here," the air around him bows when he enters. Because his language is not in his mouth, it's in his gaze. Now the peacock dances, shouts, spreads its feathers. Beautiful, yes, and precisely for that, disposable. The man who tries to conquer with well-formulated lines is attempting to convince himself that he's worthy. Meanwhile, the other, the serene, the unshakable, merely observes, breathes and commands the environment. The body is the throne of the spirit, and the elevated spirit does not need to justify its presence. It simply imposes it. And the woman, that primitive and perceptive radar, feels. She does not think, she feels. And when she feels, she is already defeated. Ah yes, the female radar. That invisible sensor that detects real value even before any word is spoken. You can lie with your mouth, but never with posture. A woman does not choose with logic. She chooses with the ancestral instinct that survived millennia of selection. She sniffs out fear, detects hesitation, savors presence. She does not want arguments. She wants to feel that she faces someone who can take her into chaos and bring her back. The weak try to convince her. The strong drag her with their eyes, with their silence, with a magnetism they themselves cannot explain. And when she finds that man, something explodes inside her. It doesn't matter what he says. What matters is how he is silent. What matters is how he occupies space, how he doesn't need her approval, how he can leave at any moment. And for that very reason, she won't let him go. The game is inverted. Because the true seducer does not seduce, he offers himself as an enigma. She pursues him not out of neediness, but out of a biological necessity to understand what will never be said. And you, if you still talk too much, have already lost. But here is the final blow: withdrawal. When respect is threatened, the true sovereign does not argue. He disappears. Not as a coward, but as a king who refuses presence on profaned ground. Strategic absence is the cruelest sentence, because it leaves in the other the echo of your greatness, the weight of your absence, the unbearable doubt. Why did he go? Will he return? Has he already forgotten me? No, foolish soul. He has not forgotten you. He has surpassed you. And that wounds more than any answer. Do you want to be remembered? Leave before they beg you to stay. Do you want to be desired? Vanish at your peak. The man who remains where he is not valued turns his presence into dust, but the one who departs at the right moment becomes a legend. Do not ask for respect. Make them feel your absence. And if she asks why you left, let your answer be silence. The silence that screams, I am worth more than this. And if you have already used this kind of silence as a weapon, like this video now, you understood the game. And now, listen well. Your body speaks before your voice. Your posture betrays your history. What shrinks has already lost. What hesitates already bleeds. The world observes, always. Each time you enter a space unconsciously asking permission, you surrender the throne. But the one who occupies space naturally, who walks with calculated slowness, who breathes like someone who has already won, that one has already won before any interaction. The body is the armor of the soul, and the soul that knows its own value never bows. Do you want to be respected? Sit as a king, speak with pauses, look into eyes as if reading truths. A calm voice frightens more than a shout. The silence between phrases creates tension. And tension is what creates desire, respect, fear. Everyone wants to be heard. Few know how to be silent with presence. True communication is not in words, but in occupying space, in controlling energy, in dominating the environment. The body is your first argument. If it is weak, not even your ideas will be taken seriously. Now let us reach what few perceive. Obsession is born not from excess, but from calculated scarcity. The interesting man does not give everything. He dispenses in doses. A deep glance, then withdrawal. An intense conversation, then silence. He is rhythm, not avalanche. The ordinary tries to compensate for lack of value with constant presence. The superior man controls time, space, and above all, attention itself. He knows what is abundant tires, what is rare addicts. Want to drive a woman crazy? Give her what the whole world denies, true attention for a moment, a gaze that penetrates, a listening that strips bare. And then, mystery, the retreat. Do not block. Do not disappear like a coward. Just become silence. Her desire does not spring from what you gave, but from what you did not fully give. She will try to return, insist, invent excuses to see you, because now you are absence flavored with depth. And that is unforgettable. But beware, foolish apprentice predator. Do not confuse absence with indifference. Effective absence is loaded with unexpressed intensity. It is the unspoken that screams. It is the retreat that provokes, not the neglect that cools. The man who vanishes out of flight is despicable. The one who withdraws with dominion is unforgettable, because true power is not in being close, but in being remembered. And only the one who left a mark is remembered, not on the body, but on the soul. A mark of conscious presence, of non-negotiable energy. If you enter a place and everyone notices but no one understands why, you are on the right path. There lies symbolic power. What makes you dangerous is not what you show, but what you contain. The modern world is made of dumb transparency, of people who talk too much, give too much, feel too much. Be the opposite. Be the one who carries an entire universe behind a silent gaze. The interesting man is not the one who displays himself, but the one who suggests depths that no one has ever explored. And so everyone tries to dive. And then you discover, the game was never about pleasing, but about unsettling. True masculine magnetism comes from unpredictability, not from childish chaos, but from selective order. Today he listens, tomorrow he disappears. Today he praises with surgical precision, tomorrow he observes in silence. A woman does not fall in love with someone who treats her like a queen. She surrenders to what makes her doubt herself, to what forces her to level up to deserve him. And this is not taught with words, but with posture, with rhythm, with absence charged with presence. Do you want to be chosen? Become the choice they cannot control. Every woman already knows what to do with a predictable man, but with one she does not fully understand. That one she does not forget. He occupies her mind in the gaps, in the silences, in sleepless dawns, because he is not an answer, but a permanent question, and only what is unresolved remains in the heart. You want to be remembered. Become an enigma, and remain untamable even when you seem accessible. Now listen, and take this as a tattoo on your soul. You were not made to chase. Those who chase do not know their own value. The man who understands who he is, what he represents and the impact he causes, does not adapt. He imposes, and thus he is loved, desired, pursued. You want to be alpha? Then stop negotiating your presence. Be rare, be dense, be the kind of man who changes the temperature of a room, just by being there. Because that cannot be bought, cannot be taught, cannot be simulated. It is built in silence. And if you made it this far, there are two options. Either you felt exposed or awakened. Both are signs that this video fulfilled its purpose. Like now, if you understood that words are weak before presence. Subscribe to this channel if you know you're tired of being the one who pleases and want to become the one who unsettles. And share this video with those who still live by words. Because the new man does not explain himself. He breathes, he imposes, he disappears, and even so continues reigning in others' minds.